Well, it's another episode here with Wake Up with KC. And today I want to talk about, how can you get life changing insights from your astrological birth chart? And what if you can integrate spirituality into your business? And the most important thing that I always talk about is limited beliefs. How do you even know you have some limited beliefs that keep you hindering you and keep you from transforming your life to live your best life now? Today, I have a very special guest joining me. Please welcome Howard Sambol. Howard,
Hi,
welcome.
Julie. So great to see you. So great to be here.
Well, thank you. I was very curious, because I did some research on you, and you have a very unique way of helping clients and people through astrology, spirituality,
Uh-huh.
and can you please share how this all started for you and began?
Yeah, I would love to. That's a perfect question. Good starting point. Well, early in life, I was in the field of mathematics and education. I'd already gotten my master's degree, and I was in a PhD program. And my goal was to be a college professor of mathematics, and I was en route with that. But as the saying goes, the universe had a little bit of a different plan for me, which became apparent, after a while through various circumstances. And I just dawned on me, hey, I don't really have a clue how the universe works. I had really better figure this out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to really do anything. So I opened up this old fashioned book called The Yellow Pages that some of your audience may remember about, and I looked it up and I found a school that taught astrology that was near me back in the East Coast on Long Island. And I won't mention the year now. I'm not going to mention the year. Anyway, so I went there and I signed up for classes, and I was in study there in this institute for a good couple of years. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I kept feeling like I kind of know this stuff already, but kind of a reminder or a refresher course. Anyway, it opened up my world, my reality in a profound way, which was kind of a catalyst for many other areas of knowledge. So it was, one led to the next, to the next, to the next. And I kept accumulating different models, systems, techniques, consciousness, spirituality, metaphysics, etc. But I'm a Taurus, so I'm a very practical guy. And so I always sought to, like, okay, let's make something happen. Let's do something practical here. So everything we do in life crafting, my program, always has a very practical outcome intended. As we talk, I think it'll become apparent, how that is. But anyway, that's a brief version of my story.
Well, how did discover your, I guess, your spiritual gifts to help, like, understanding birth charts in order to help people get insights to help them?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the study of astrology, as you may know, it's pretty vast, and it takes a pretty long time of study to, really get good at it. Fortunately, I had a gift, I had a talent, I was able to learn this stuff quickly. But over the course of years, I kept doing birth charts with people. I kept practicing and becoming better. I started to realize my already existing intuitive nature that was always there, but I just didn't know it at first. And then it became stronger and stronger. And then as I was studying other methods, I started to really make connections between elements in a birth chart and other methods, tools, techniques that would empower people in their life. So let me just say a couple things about an astrological birth chart. Some of your audience may not really even know what that means. So I'll explain that a little bit. So when at the time when you're born, when you take your first breath as a baby, And the planets aren't in exact position. So if we had a telescope and a camera, we could photograph exactly where all the planets are at that moment. That is your birth chart. That is your natal birth chart that you have for your whole life. Okay. Now, first thing everyone needs to know is there's no cause and effect relationship between the planets and your life. There's no beams of energy being shot down by Jupiter on you. That's all kind of silly nonsense. The way astrology works is it works through the principle of synchronicity, which is a spiritual principle that things that happen at the same time have a meaningful relationship to each other, even though there's not a cause and effect. Now, for people in the United States, in the Western world, that's a little bit of a difficult concept, but in the East, it's more easily understood. In any event, as you become more and more skilled, you're able to look at a birth chart and you're able to see the patterns in somebody's life. You're able to see why they're here, what they're learning in this lifetime, what their lessons are, what their gifts are, what their purpose or aspects of their purpose, their tendencies, and you're able to guide them and understand and therefore become the best version of themselves they can be. And the challenges that are inherent in the chart become opportunities in disguise, because everything spiritually is an opportunity, even if it can't be seen at the time when you're actually looking at it. Part of being a really skilled coach, guide, and astrologer is having that ability to present the challenge, present the lesson, and then show how it's an opportunity, and then guide the person to step into that opportunity, use that in a practical way to achieve their goals and desires and dreams that they have. Because that pretty much, I think, covers that.
Wow. Um, and then how do you help on the spiritual aspect of things to help people with their business? How does that fall into place?
Okay, well, that's a really good question too, Kimberly. The way we approach it in life crafting is we first help you clarify your life purpose, passion, and unique genius. And this is a sort of a journey to discovering this is a deep dive or journey into your soul. It's like a progression of layers and layers because the truth in human beings lives in layers. It's not just some superficial thing that you know and then you're done. As you go deeper and you ask deeper questions and you use intuition and feelings and creative energy and visualization, et cetera, you learn deeper truths. So there's a progression of discoveries and awakenings to going to deeper truths inside of you. And then as you go deeper, you start to realize what's at the core of your nature. You start to feel a deep resonance with why you are here, why you came here. And you can feel it. You can feel it deeply. It's very moving. It's very emotional. Okay. It's very deep. And once you get it, you never lose that ever. And it becomes the guiding force in your life from that point on, like a compass showing you the true north direction that you're going in. Okay. We use that as the foundation of your career or business. That becomes the foundational piece. We build on that and help people launch an ideal business that is based on that purpose. Okay, so if it's based on your unique genius, well, hey, you're going to be delivering incredible value in the world if it's your genius, right? Genius means that you're incredible and you can make a contribution. Well, when you make a contribution, what happens? You're delivering value. When you deliver value, you're making money. What is money? Is just value, the exchange of value, right? So you give value, you receive value, okay? But it's also something you love, right? So you're doing what you love, you're making a difference in the world, you're delivering value. And if we add just a couple simple business oriented principles and systems to that, you have a business, and we teach you how to craft that business, how to launch that business, and then how to do it in using the technologies of today, the many different technologies of today that allow you to do that. So this is short, there's a lot more to this, obviously, but at least it gives you, some sense of what you're asking.
Wow. And it's sort of like what you mentioned before is you help people connect. To me, it's like their true a piece of their true essence.
Yes, yes, their essence.
And it is more of a like feeling the truth
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
finally connect. Because I
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
So
It's
I
it's
connect now. Now I recognize like feeling like when I hear truth, I
yeah.
feel it.
Yes, yes. The truth has a vibration. The truth has its own unique vibration. And the more attuned you are to that feeling and to that vibration, the easier it becomes to recognize the truth when it's spoken. And the more difficult it is for you to be deceived by all the disinformation being thrown at you from all places in the world. You just have an instantaneous recognition, lie, 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 not the truth, not the truth. And when the truth comes out, then you go, wow, I feel that's the truth. That's the truth. You get that. I call it truth resonance. And I teach my clients how to develop a higher truth resonance, which is a recognition, basically, a recognition of that.
So that would be another aspect because I read a good book, um, and it talked about discernment.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But
So that's when you read part of that, and when you read that word discernment, that's what they were
yeah, absolutely.
saying is
Yes,
instead of a logical like discernment. Well, how do you discern?
yes. Well,
We're
discern.
not taught, I mean, growing up in the religion aspect, we're not taught how to recognize that true feeling of the truth because it's really
Yeah,
not
so
talked about.
well, let me say something about that. When you grow up in a religious background, you're typically operating with a very fixed, defined belief system or perceptual filter. So you see everything in your reality through that filter, and you can only see what the filter allows and the beliefs allow you to see. As you start to shed, that's like a snake, sheds its skin. As you graduate beyond that religion or that fixed belief system, and you open up your intuition, um, your perceptual field and belief system expands. You can feel more, see more, know more, discern more, all the things we're talking about. And little by little, you're just plugged in. You're plugged into the universe. You plugged into, you have whatever you need. It's right there. It's available to you.
And it's so like, I mean, now that I'm out of it, now I see and understand more.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's like, how come? I mean, people have not like they're still stuck there, and when we talk about limited beliefs, it has to deal with your upbringing, and even in the religion aspect, because that's a belief system
yeah. Well,
separate from everything else, but it's connected at the same time.
everything. It's true, Kimberly. Everything is a belief system, but here's the problem is the lack of awareness that you're operating within a set of beliefs. So let's look at the average individual. The average individual has no awareness whatsoever that they are living in a set of beliefs. To them, what they're perceiving is just real, is real. It's reality. It is what it is. Okay. Until that person graduates or elevates to another level of consciousness where they can see how everything is a belief, and that's okay, but they can choose the beliefs that are going to serve them and let go of the beliefs that are not serving them, that are limiting. Then they choose the reality that they're living in. They craft their world. They craft the reality in which, and they can decide, well, no, I'd rather live this way or believe this because it's going to give me that. And I don't want to believe this because it's going to take me down in the dungeon. And it's going to be, I'm not going to be happy there. Okay. So you need to elevate to that level and learn, gain a mastery of a personal mastery of understanding how beliefs work in your reality, and gain the skill of being able to work with that. And there's a set of skills there. They're just not taught in the sixth grade or the ninth grade, because we don't live in a society that's very interested in empowering people in any way, certainly not spiritually. So you have to go to another place to really be able to gain that mastery.
Well, wouldn't it be safe to say too that a lot of beliefs have been passed down from generation to generation to
Totally,
generation?
totally, of course. Of course, we live in a grand, massive sea of indoctrinated beliefs. Indoctrinate, if you look at the work of indoctrinate, what is that word? If you take the word apart, you see doctrine is beliefs. And then indoctrinate means to fill one with beliefs. That's how the word is constructed. Okay. So it's all built into the word there.
Wow. And, going through my own personal experience, and, it's like, abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, all that abuse. If you pause and look back, you can see many generational cycles.
Totally, totally. Yeah, absolutely. You can see, you can break it all down. You can dismantle the whole entire thing. I mean, I created about 2 years ago. I created a video series called "Mind Control to Freedom," so that people could understand the entire mechanism of mind control on our planet and how to dismantle the whole thing. I mean, we I just gave it all away. People can learn that.
Wow. And where can they find that information about
Well, as
from mind control to freedom?
well, what we were discussing earlier, uh, if you recall, we said that if people go on their phone, if they go to howards360.com, that's really the best bet. Because if they go there, they're going to see, first of all, a 1 minute video of me. They can X out of it, they can just tap it, or they can watch it. Then they're going to see a button, a messaging button, and then they're going to see a send text button. If they tap on the send text button and they send me a text with their email address, and your show, or your name or your show, then I will interact with them and I'll send them all the information that all the important information, the reports, the downloadable files, everything they need, a copy of my book if they want that. So there's all kinds of goodies. The key is just to be able to do that. Let me repeat that again. howards360.com. Go there on your phone, either watch the 1 minute video or X out of it, tap message, and then send text. That's the key, send text, and just put their name, email, and the show, and we'll interact. I'll help them in all whatever way I can. I'll give them whatever they need.
Okay. And you have this thing going on about how a, a report or a program
Yes,
to help people identify.
yes, yes.
So can you explain that? How does that work? How do
Yes,
you
absolutely, absolutely. I'd be happy to explain it, Kimberly. So I agree with you. It's a really, really important topic. So the first thing I think that's important for people to do on their own, and this is just something anybody can actually do. Okay, notice the places in your life where you're feeling stuck, or struggling, or stuck, or having a difficulty, whatever it may be. Just gently and lovingly just focus attention for a moment on any of those areas, okay? And then look to see and ask yourself, what beliefs might I be holding in my awareness that could be contributing to this experience? Okay, so that's a general question that you want to learn and get used to the idea of asking that question, because that's going to be the key question that will help you to go from the experience you're having to the beliefs causing that experience, right? There's always a connection between the experience and the beliefs. Like there's a loop. Okay, it starts with belief, then experience, and the experience strengthens the belief and makes you think the belief is stronger until eventually there just isn't any belief. It's just what is. It's just the way it is. Okay. Okay. So you keep asking yourself a question: what would somebody need to believe, or what might I be believing that could be causing me to suffer or struggle or be stuck in this particular way? And you write down on a piece of paper, or whatever. Write down all the beliefs that come to mind. Now, in our downloadable report, you're going to get a lot of detail with this. Okay, so more detail than I can give here. So you'll be able to read and all the steps and breaks it down very, very much like a recipe, like a step by step recipe. Okay, and it'll tell you how to do it. Now, as you keep asking this type of question, you're going to start discovering, oh my God, I'm having all these beliefs that I don't have a choice, or I have to put up with this, you know, painful or difficult situation, or I have a belief that I can't be successful the way I want to be, or that nobody will like me or love me or appreciate. I mean, it goes on and on. You know what I mean? And you just observe what those beliefs are. You don't need to do anything at first, just write them down and just notice the beliefs that are there with lots of compassion for yourself, lots of self love, compassion, and just notice them. Okay, like a dispassionate being or spirit looking from above, that's looking down, you know, like that, with just total unconditional love, seeing what these beliefs are that, you know, got created somehow or other, however they did. Not, you know, you're not to blame, or you did something wrong, or it's just the beliefs that got created. Okay, then as you start to recognize this, the mystery is going to start to go away. You're going to start, the mystery will disappear. You will start to see this is an exact match. The beliefs, the experience match. They always, always match. Okay? So if you want to change the experience, you need to change the belief. And you will learn in our report how to do that, how to change the belief. You cannot change beliefs intellectually, because that's kind of like giving yourself a pep talk, right? How often does a pep talk really work? It doesn't work. Maybe it works for an hour or so, and then or a day, but it wears off pretty quickly, right? So pep talks don't change beliefs. So affirmations are like pep talks. They don't change anything. They just have like a sugar coating or whatever you want to call it, right? So you have to get to the belief inside and learn how to work with the energy and the emotions and the patterns and the feelings. And that's what people learn how to do in life crafting. Okay. So not only you learn what your, you know, your life purpose is, but you learn how to peel away, you know, the limiting beliefs and eliminate them. So all that's left is you doing you in the world, shining your light, shining your being, shining your gifts, shining your passion in the world, because you've eliminated all the junk, all the cobwebs, all the junk that is standing in your way, right? And then if you combine that with an empowering environment, we have something called mastermind, a very unique mastermind structure. And if you combine this in a mastermind structure, well, then it's pure becomes pure magic, just totally with, without even adding astrology to the mix. But you get the idea.
Right. And have you discovered, because you speak about the, the emotion and energy
Yeah.
with the beliefs and everything, but isn't there a connection with emotional energetic traumas? that also
Yes, yes, of
pass
course.
down?
Absolutely. Everything, Kimberly, everything's interrelated. Everything is interconnected. There's no things that are separate. If there's trauma, then there's, because your body records all of the experiences. And so sometimes you need to go, to drill down into the body. And there are healers, that specialize in working with the body because the body has its own memory,
Mhm.
all the experiences. Some of them are, traumas or injuries of different kind. But nowadays there are specialists in all these different areas that can help you to heal and release energy, release and shift and transform. But the beliefs and the emotional patterns are all connected. Okay. So, for example, let's just take emotional triggers. You know what an emotional trigger is. Somebody says, "Hi, how you doing?" and you get angry. But that's a trigger, right? So we have triggers in life because something happens that internally reminds us of something previous where we were what that was harmful or hurtful. Okay. So when you unravel the beliefs, you will notice the emotional patterns connected to those beliefs. And as you shift them, the emotional patterns start to shift as well, because they're just byproducts of the belief that's there. And you learn how to work with the energy of that.
Yeah, and then, like, for me is when I finally dealt with whatever that trigger from
Right, right,
somebody saying or doing something, when they do it again and I'm not even reacting,
right. You're
that's like
very
my sign, like, I mastered that. I'm like,
yes.
I'm healed, hallelujah, kind of.
Exactly. You got it. You got it. Exactly. So you've proven, Kimberly, how you can shift the triggers and the patterns. And that's because if you don't, then your whole life is just like an emotional pinball machine. You're just going ding, 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 ding. You're not really deliberate. You're not living your life from choice, from what your intention is. You're just in reaction all the time. You know?
Well, not only that, but like energy does turn into matter.
Yeah,
And I understand emotional energetic traumas that even from the womb. So I was in my mom's womb and she
absolutely.
was in her mother's womb, and they grew up in the Great Depression and then World War I. And you go back to all those generational lines of what was going on with the wars and
Yeah.
this and that and the other. We're carrying it and then we're passing it forward.
Absolutely, Kimberly, you're absolutely right. The other thing I will say about your astrological birth chart is that you can see past life patterns brought forth to this lifetime as well. And those are soul memory. Those are, you could say, soul oriented lessons that you're learning. The soul maintains a certain memory, especially when it's the thing you want to conquer or learn, and you can see where that is, and the chart shows it shows exactly what that is and what you want to heal in this lifetime. So I work with that all the time.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
So it's like, going with the charts and everything, it's where, you know, I want to say the constellations of where the planets were at that certain time of
yeah, yeah,
day,
yeah,
the
exactly.
location that you were born in.
Yes, it's not any one thing. It's a combination of planetary aspects. You know what an aspect between planets? It's what's the configuration in your chart between all the planets. So you're dealing with the signs and the aspects and the energies and houses and astrology is a very, as you know, it's a very detailed uh, in depth kind of thing. And there's layers again of information, and it takes time to learn how to discern those things. But then you and I did, when we spoke the other day, we did the cool Astrodites thing. So your audience probably be curious about that as well. So there's ways of getting direct guidance at any point in your life, whatever you're going through. It's available just to be open to the guidance that's there for you. And then once you are, then there's a flood of information coming in and love and guidance and helping you to move forward and evolve further.
Yeah, and I look at, people that are gifted like you, Howard, as, when I come to you and I ask questions, it's just getting like keys to the puzzle to help me with whatever area and aspect of my life of what I'm going through.
Yeah.
It's like a tool,
Yes.
because when you can't, because we're all emotional beings, and we get frustrated, we get stuck, we're upset, things aren't going right, and you just, I'm not a person that prays anymore because that's pointless. But it's like, okay, there's something that I'm not getting when I'm going through, or this is not happening to me, this is happening for me. And then I get the, like, guidance, or if I feel like, okay, like I get keywords, but it doesn't quite like the keywords resonate with me, but it's like I'm not, like, there's something missing. I can't quite get my head around it, and then I'll go to someone like you to, like, get that missing piece to help me go to that next, understand why I'm going through what I'm going through,
Yeah.
how I can overcome it. And it's just like getting a counselor in a way.
Right. Yes, exactly. Except that the difference in terms of an empowering environment and a coach within working on a transformational level in an empowering environment is instead of just getting answers, from somebody external, you're gaining the skill to get your own answers to your own questions. You're getting that skill. That's what I mean by empowerment.
Mhm.
Not somebody isn't just coming along to fix you because you're not broken in the first place. There's nothing broken about you. You don't need fixing. It's just
Right.
learning skills of mastery, of personal mastery skills and awareness that most human beings are lacking in. So one of my famous or sayings I say every day is the chain is only as strong as your weakest link. If you don't know the weak or broken links in your chain, you're likely to keep doing the same things over and over again, like the hamster on the wheel, and you won't really see results. So you need to work with somebody who's able to help you see the broken links in your chain, identify them, fix them, be aware of them, be in a supportive, a loving, supportive, empowering environment, and then you become self-directed and uh, you know, self-perpetuating, self-directed to be your own master, and you go from the dependence, independence, interdependence. You get to that third stage of interdependence, which means that you function independently, but you benefit from the exchange of others. You learn with others, but you're still, by choice, making your own decisions.
Wow. And it's almost like, um to me, it's like, w- there's a great saying that I got from Oprah Winfrey when she read this book when she was a young kid. And it went like something like this: You are the master to your destiny and the captain to your soul.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
And it's like we are creators of our life, our
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. Well, friend.
So I've like, one thing I really changed in my mindset is like, you know what? I only have one life to live. And I lived half of my life under programs and beliefs and energetic emotional traumas. Now it's like, mm-mm. Now it's time I'm creating my life on my terms, what
Yes.
I want to experience.
Yeah, pretty beautiful. Fantastic.
And it's like a process,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
because you're still, it doesn't happen overnight. Success
No,
doesn't happen
no,
overnight.
not at all. It's a process, and you're continually adding more tools, more skills, more mastery, seeing more results, getting more feedback, and it's just continued progressive evolution.
And doesn't it change the energy? It's sort of,
Everything as you evolve, everything continues to change. At all the different levels continues to change. Yep.
and then what I was going to ask you about the planets and everything, because we're also energy, and we're connected to the earth, and we're also connected energetically to the planet. So when things are shifting and changing, it does affect us as well as it affects them.
Yeah, human beings are basically bundles of energy. They're bundles of complex, I guess you could say, a complex energy field. So think of yourself as this energy bubble. Then inside of you, you have all these energetic frequencies that are all a function of all your beliefs and all of the qualities in you. And then as you move through life and you interact with other people, what's actually going on metaphysically is that your energy bubble is interacting with somebody else's energy bubble, and you're having all these complex, energy exchanges going on all unconsciously. And then your mind, you feel good about this person, and your mind makes up a story that, oh, I like this person, they're really cool. But it was all a function of the energy exchange. That's all unconscious. And then the mind makes up a story about it.
Wow, that reminds me of another good book that I read, The Celestine Prophecy. They
Yeah,
talk about that energy exchange and how some
right.
people, due to their programs and everything, they like to suck the energy from you, and you're feeling drained, or
Yeah,
and they're like energy vampires kind of thing. But
yeah.
then,
Well, the Celestine prophecy really highlights the fact that how you're being guided every minute of every day. You're always being guided, but you won't know you're guided unless you learn how to tune in to the frequency of that guidance. So we'll all be invisible to you unless you learn the skills of tuning. It's like a frequency, like
yeah,
a
turning
radio
into the
station.
radio to get the message. It's
Turn
all
on to the
like
right
scattery, and
station on the
then you
dial.
start hearing it.
Yeah, to get it exactly, exactly. So that's the whole idea there. And then synchronicity, coincidences, all these things that happen every day, and most people don't are not even paying attention. But then as you start to pay attention, you start noticing, holy cow! I mean, look at this! It's happening! It's magic! Magic! Every day is magic.
Yes. To me, it's like having sex, synergistic energy exchange. That's what sex is.
Yeah,
Boy, do
yeah.
we have a misconception about sex.
Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. Well, Kimberly, it's so fun to talk with you because you're so open, and then you're so progressing so rapidly on your path. It's nice to see that.
Ah, thank you. I just It's just things that I started questioning. That's how my spiritual journey, because
Yeah,
in the circumstances and what I was experiencing, I just like had enough. And I'm like, is there more to life than this? Because if there isn't, and this is all there is, I don't want to be here.
yeah, yeah,
And I got to that frustrating part where I was like, well, I want to know the truth. And I was like, I don't want to hear about religion, because it did not resonate. Like things did not add up, match up.
right, 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 exactly. Yeah,
So
no,
I was like at that point desperate, like, you better show me the truth because I'm done with this bullshit. And that's how I was. And I
so
was coming from
yeah.
an authentic place.
So, Kimberly, what do you feel, knowing your audience, because you've been doing your podcast for a while now, right? What do you feel, from your knowledge of your audience, that is particularly important to them in their journey? That where we could cover something. We've already covered obviously a lot of ground, but just so we move forward, I want to help your audience in the best way we possibly can. What would you say is important to them, most important to them?
Well, right now, with everything that's been going on with the pandemic, people losing their job, now they're
Yeah,
trying to get back on their feet, but they're
right,
also realizing, you know, they don't want just a job,
right. Yeah,
paycheck to paycheck, and they're not feeling of their worth.
Right,
All of a sudden, some people, they're like waking up, but they're like, what, I need to do something. What can I do,
right, right,
to generate another stream of income?
right.
So I've always told people, read a good book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, because if you look at things, of the poor teach the poor to be poor, middle class teach the middle class to be middle class, and the rich teach the rich to be rich.
Well, yeah.
Nobody recognizes a belief.
The one, okay, Kimberly, the one exception to that is Robert Kiyosaki, uh, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which you remember what his saying, what his motto is, that wealthy people do not teach their children to work for money, but rather to have money work for them. So that is one of our life crafting principles. Now, the thing for your audience to understand about money, money is energy. We covered that. But there are two different vibrational fields with regard to money. So there's what we call survival energy, which is fear based, and there's source energy, which is love based or creativity based. The vast majority of people, unfortunately, live their lives stuck in survival energy. So they have to keep struggle just to pay their bills, to get by, et cetera, et cetera. And unfortunately, survival energy is rather addictive, so that the more you're doing it, the more you are likely to do it. So, how do you break free of survival energy and get into source energy, right? So that's a huge leap, but a critical leap for anybody who wants to feel abundant and have freedom in their life and pursue what they love and all the things that we've been discussing. So you need to have, again, a support environment to help you break out of survival or fear based energy and get into source energy. It's not an easy, it's not a slam dunk. It's not an easy task. There's many components needed to make that happen. So if anybody is, you're watching this and you have a genuine desire to break out of survival energy and get into source energy and feel real abundance and move to financial freedom, go ahead and, like we said earlier, send me the text because I can plug you into the toolkit. Because once again, it's a toolkit, it's beliefs, it's shifting energy, it's and then starting to create a new experience. Send me the text and then I'll plug you in to the methodology for getting out of survival energy and into source energy. That's one of our most important elements in the life crafting program that we do.
Wow, because as I was saying, is I feel like people are now, you know, wanting to know more on how they can
Yeah,
change
yeah,
and not live the way they live. It's
yes,
just, and
yes,
that's why I provide this platform, is to get people to start thinking outside the box.
yeah,
And like this interview, someone's gonna listen to it. I'm like, oh my God, yes. She's speak like she knows what I've been dealing with. She understands, oh my gosh, Howard has this. Okay. And go to your links.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, and all it takes, Kimberly, hitting the bullseye, all it takes for people is just that one moment of making the decision. Okay, I have had enough. I've had enough of where I've been. I'm ready for something new. I'm willing to take action because change happens when you're willing to take action. And long standing, lasting change comes from commitment and working again in a support environment, empowering with a mentor in a support environment with tools that are proven to work over and over. They've worked before. And commitment means doing whatever it takes to get to the end result that you say you want. Okay.
Hmm.
And another way to say this is that change occurs in people when their pain of the present becomes greater than their fear of the unknown future. I actually just posted that on Facebook just a short while ago because it's a very core principle. So you get in life what you put up with. If you put up with or tolerate something, the universe just goes, "Oh, okay, he or she is just they're happy with that. So we'll just keep giving them more of it. The minute you say, I'm not willing to put up with this anymore, and I'm willing to make a commitment to something different, and I'm willing to make an investment, of time, energy, money, working with a team, to get that result, that's when the change happens. And these days it's fast. I mean, the results, I mean, results very rapidly because everything on the planet is so accelerated now. The whole movement towards higher dimensional awareness is so accelerated that things are much shorter in their time duration. Once you
Mhm.
take action on something and you're feeling that desire level and commitment inside of you, the universe goes boom. And then within a matter of a day or two, you already start to see the results of that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
and
I
then
also want your audience to know that in life crafting, we also have a course in cryptocurrency. So we will help you not only get out of survival energy with money, but to develop true financial freedom using cryptocurrency because fiat money is gone. It's dead. There is, I mean, all the dollar, euro, everything in the world right now, it's all collapsing. So all those monies are useless. They'll be retired very soon. They're all going to be, gone. So the only option nowadays for anybody serious about their financial future is really crypto. And no matter how your past experience has been, or no matter what fears you have or doubts you have, whatever, just get in touch. Get in touch with us, and we'll give you. We have a whole webinar, a whole intro webinar that we can send you. You'll learn from scratch. You know what I'm saying? We'll help you wipe the slate clean, begin and get onto a track where you can do that. That's a very very important piece to the puzzle of moving towards financial freedom.
yeah. Well, to me, it's financial independence.
Yes, yes, financial, exactly. And if you can well imagine that if you put all of what we've been talking about in life crafting together with a cryptocurrency uh, financial freedom program, and you combine those worlds, I mean, it's mind blowing, completely mind blowing what becomes possible.
Wow.
I
I love like we got into a little bit of everything today.
know,
I
I know,
love it.
I know. We covered everything. I don't think we left out one little morsel.
No, and the one thing that I can like emphasize to, like because I always listen to meditation, like my thing, 30 minutes. I have my own meditation thing that I do to get my energy to where I want it to be to help me during the day.
Yeah.
And I came across hearing something and I was like, wow, that is so like that it was like I was hearing truth. You know, don't be afraid to risk and try. Be afraid to be at the same place this time next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You know, it's not like, well, I could do it later. No, or why not? Why not if you don't do something now, you're risking being in the same place that you were this
Hey, whatever
it,
it is you desire, take action. The simple thing, whatever you desire, take action on it.
you
Take
know.
action on it and recognize that for once and for all that you to stop the Lone Ranger, I call it the Lone Ranger syndrome. Stop doing Lone Ranger. Stop being your isolated person trying to figure it all out on your own, and just whatever, driving your car off the edge of the cliff and wondering why did that happen? Because you didn't have any caring, loving person to give you feedback. So you wound up, you know, crashing and burning. So when you
When
have,
a lot of people are not going to be supportive, but if you connect with the right ones,
yeah,
the ones that are not supportive, it's like misery loves company. They don't want to change their life.
right. Yeah,
But I mean, you have to stay in it.
you
That's
learn
a
how to
program.
you learn how to recognize a true empowerment. So you were using the word discernment earlier, and I love that word. It's a powerful word. So as you are networking and connecting with people, whether it's through social media, whatever mechanism you use, continue to reflect is, am I feeling empowered by being around this person? Am I feeling like I'm uplifted from their energy? Am I growing and learning and discovering? Or am I feeling yucky, like a yucky feeling when I'm with them? And be discerning about that and surround yourself with empowering, loving people who are adding something new to your world, that are adding some further knowledge or energy or skill to your world, and then form some kind of agreement, or a bond to support each other in a meaningful, concrete sort of way. That's the foundation of a mutual support system, to have that. Of course, we have that in our at a very high level in life crafting, but you want to learn, everything you learn is in stages, right? So you can take the baby steps and you can progress, up the scale with the baby steps.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And it is, it's just day to day. And the more you get understanding and then you get clarity, and then your intuition, it's like dating your intuition, your higher self, your soul self, getting to know it, start dating it, communicating with it.
I love
And
that.
then you establish that,
Yeah,
tight relationship that nothing can
yeah.
break.
Yeah, exactly. Getting to know you said earlier, the essence. I love that word. So get to know your creative essence and love and love, love, love that creative essence, and just be in awe of your genius, your creativity, be in gratitude, be in love with that. And get yourself a nice journal, a nice, beautiful journal with a nice pen that you like to write with, and write all your thoughts and ideas, and just notice how the law of attraction never takes a vacation. It's always there for you. It's always reflecting. It's always
Mm-hmm.
you, your thoughts with the energies of others and situations, that keeps building, building, building. Wherever you put your attention, that's where the energy is going to go.
Energy flows where attention goes. That's my motto.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, we really it was cool today. Like, we just covered everything. It's so cool.
Awesome. I'm so glad too, because I was like, I usually once I the camera goes on and everything's recording, I just shift gears and it just flows.
I should make one final comment, Kimberly, though, about Astrodice, because we touched on it briefly earlier, but I didn't tell your audience about them. And you and I had such a fun time the other day when we were doing our pre-interview
Okay,
meeting.
so let's share some dice. I'll ask a question and
Well, I want to mostly get the people to know. So astrodice are these three 12-sided cubes that have symbols on them. So they have the planet symbols, the zodiac symbols, and the numbers from 1 to 12 on them. Okay, and the way
Mhm.
they work is you just rub them up in your hand. You think of a question, of any question that you have, and then you just rub. Roll the dice and you get the three symbols. And when I work with people, I tell them what symbols they got, and then I put them all together so they can get an answer to their question. So the other day, you had a question, as you remember, and then we did that, and you were amazed at the depth and the depth of the answer that you got. Okay. Now, we've been doing, for a while now, we've been doing Facebook Live events with Astrodites, but we're going to be changing that soon, because we want to get into a little bit more of a serious mode. So in the near future, we're going to be announcing like a monthly call. If you come into our Facebook group, so our Facebook group is Craft Your Ideal Business. So make a note of that. Come in, find the group, join our group, so you're part of our community. You'll learn about everything we're doing. There's a ton of stuff going on. Anyway, we're going to then be announcing a monthly call on Zoom where you can sign up. It's free. You can sign up for Astrodyne. So you can come to the call and bring whatever questions you have, right? And you're going to get mind blowing answers, and you can keep getting guidance that way. And then, of course, you'll learn about all the life crafting programs and options so that you can then use, whatever resources that are there that are really the best fit for you. Okay. And I just wanted to mention that. Now, if you want to ask a question, hopefully we have enough time where you can just do another question if you like.
Okay. Hmm.
If you like, I can always help you with the questions. So you can throw out an idea. I will help you, formulate or just
Okay. Is hmm.
whatever feels important, Kimberly. Just don't worry about
Okay,
the.
my how can I say it? I got two things that I started with in helps of creating more stream of income, multiple streams of income. And
Right. Okay.
so it's to me is like, okay, I've heard like I'm on the right path, but I want to make sure that those two things that I started with was the one that
So Kimberly, you want feedback. Am I hearing you correctly? You want feedback on these two various income streams, and you want to simply get feedback on each of them,
yeah,
and see which of them, either or both of them, are the ones that are going to be best for you with
yeah.
income stream. Okay, so we can call them. How should we refer to them? A and B, one and two, or do you have some way to reference them?
A and B.
Okay, A and B. We'll just use A and B, and you know what those are.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to share specifics about what they are. We'll say the dice already know what they are. Okay, does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, so the question is, and I want you to say it out loud. Please give me feedback about each of these income streams, about what their potential, what their value for me. So say that question out loud, and then we can ask for each one of them.
Okay. I'd like to get some insight and feedback on the two endeavors that I have joined in to create multiple streams of income.
Okay, good. So we're going to do A first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to mark this down. I'll make a little notation, and then I'm going to do the B. Okay. And you remember which is which, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. So here we go. I'm going to do B now. Hmm, interesting. They're really quite different.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Good. So okay. So now you want to answer, right? So all right. So the symbol you got for A was Venus Capricorn 5. Venus Capricorn 5, which in simple terms means enjoy the process of working steadily and with structure and organization and a good system to market or promote this idea or this endeavor, and enjoy the work involved. It's going to take some work and some practice and some discipline and some organization to do it, but enjoy that process to get to where you want to get to. All right.
Okay.
That's A. All right. Now B is very different. B is Saturn Pisces 5. So they both have a 5 in there because they both have a marketing or promotional, you know what I'm saying, a promotional
Mm-hmm.
side to them. Uh, the B is different. B is more working spiritually. It's more working intuitively and spiritually. So there's still an element, there's a Saturn element. So there's still an element of structure, an importance of structure and organization and discipline and consistency. So that's there too. But in the second one, there's there it's more intuitive, it has a more of an intuitive feel, more of an intuitive feeling, and more of a spiritual and intuitive quality to it. But it still involves becoming known, becoming visible and becoming known. Both of
Okay,
them.
I'm getting like hit. Like I
All
can't
right, good.
even write. I'm getting hit. I'm like, okay,
Okay, this is helpful. This helpful? Yeah.
you nailed it.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
You nailed it.
the Astrodites get the credit as they always do.
And you know what? And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the A is something that I love and enjoy. And it's more like also even informative and educational aspect of it.
Okay.
B is very intuitive spirituality plus educational and
Right.
teaching.
Exactly.
So I was like, I was get like my intuition was nail on what to do. So there, I'm good.
You could do both. You could do both of them and just be aware that the different little bit of the differences between them, if you like.
So I just yeah, I wrote. Oh, okay. I'm
So
getting it.
let me
Connecting the dots.
yeah, let me just share very quickly with your audience that I've been doing Astrodice for like decades. Okay, I don't want to even say how long. Okay, but I've been doing Astrodice for decades, and every person who's interviewed me on their podcast over the last several months or last few weeks. Anyway, they've been all asking the Astrodites questions on every interview. They're all like going bonkers. They're all going, every one of them. And it's hilarious because, in every single interview, every single person is asking the Astrodites and they're getting amazing, amazing answers. So I told my team member, I said, hey, let's put all these, these video clips. Let's create video clips and put them all together, in one Astrodice video where we could assemble,
Hey, that's a good
assemble all of them.
idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just have a blast with it, and but if you're watching this, if you've seen the magic of this, okay, all we're doing is we're tapping into that energy field, that where the universal energy field in the universe that has the knowledge, has the insight, has everything. All we're doing is tapping into that field, and this is a doorway. Think of Astrodice and Howard Sambol, together. It's just a doorway opening up to that, and once you open that door and you start to receive the flow, then everything is going to change because it's a vortex and everything is going to start to shift in your reality. So be prepared.
Yep, I am.
You can't
I'm
put
looking forward
you
to it.
can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Oh my gosh. Harold, this was amazing. I love having interviews with people like you.
Thank
And I wish you the best of success and I look forward to continue, connecting with you and doing amazing things with you in the near future.
I'm sure, Kimberly, that we're going to be good friends and we're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, this has been so much fun, and I'm excited to have the recording available and share with our respective, networks and everything, and there'll be a lot of fun.
It absolutely. Well, there you go. You never know who I'm going to get on my show. And I'm telling you, got to stay tuned and keep coming in because it could be something amazing that you've been waiting to hear to help you along the way. So I want to also thank the jewelry provided by Pretty Bling Boutique and the skincare and makeup provided by Pharmacy. So stay tuned to the next episode of Wake Up with KC.